When I was a nuclear physicist during my PhD, I was having a hero, and the hero was Edward de Bono. I was reading his book, 5 Days Course in Thinking, and I never thought that I would have the opportunity to meet him in real life. And in fact, in honor to that, I will talk in English. I go and bring you back into the space perspective. 25 years ago, I saw this, and I found myself outside of the Earth, realizing that the outer space in which I was, in fact, is black, 200 degrees minus. There is no air, there is no life, there is no history, there's nothing of importance. And in fact, I realized that everything which is of importance is just in front of me, being the Earth. Something gets hold, and you have to take the computer and start to move it, because otherwise we don't get into 10 minutes. Can you move the, Can you move the PowerPoint presentation technology? It's automatic, so you have to put it on automatic. Okay. So I'm in the dark, and you see in front of you see the Earth, and you realize that the separation between the two worlds, the worlds of value and the worlds of no value, is just a thin layer of atmosphere, which in fact I would call the skill and the hull of spaceship Earth. What I went through in this process of going outside and then looking at the Earth, I call like a mirror. A mirror where you realize that it is not the space which is unique, but it is the Earth. The first person who went through this mirror thinking was Yuri Gagarin in 1961. He was asked, how do the stars and the planets look? But his answer was, the Earth is beautiful. People who were on the moon saw the Earth in its real being. You see a globe not very large, blue of color, beautiful, only alone in space. There's only one, we don't have a spare, this is our Earth. It's our spaceship. And I really would urge you to start thinking in terms of a crew member of Spaceship Earth, in fact, an astronaut of Spaceship Earth. Then you take the right attitude to take care of it. We didn't do very well, not on purpose, but when we drilled oil, we just collected 100 million years of carbon dioxide and start to burn this in 100 years. Half of it we've burned, in the next 20 years we do the rest. The result of that has been an enormous increase of the greenhouse gas in our atmosphere. If we compare it to the last 500,000 years, with the ice ages, fluctuations, and the warm periods in between, we've increased it now in 50 years as much as the difference between the ice age and the non-ice age. No wonder that we get warmer, and no wonder that the climatic models will fail to predict, because the difference is just too large. But we have a solution. And the solution is nuclear energy. It is the most beautiful type of energy nature can offer us. E equals mc squared, horrendous amounts. And I can offer you a nuclear power plant which is very, very reliable at a safe distance of 140 million kilometers, no political influence, no terroristic attack. If they try, good luck, and it is for free for everybody. And obviously this is the sun. A very safe nuclear power plant which gives us energy in terms of heat, light and wind, and absolutely sufficient for everybody. In the Netherlands, the sun shines 100 times more energy than we really need, and on worst scale, it is 8,000. We do not have an energy problem. Therefore, you can be optimistic, which, by the way, is a responsibility, because we have a race to win. Can you do it? Well, I once had a house like this here, and I filled it up with solar, and I know exactly how much solar you get in the Netherlands. If you have 4 fields of 20 by 20 kilometers in the Netherlands, you produce as much solar energy as now all the power plants are doing together. And take, for instance, the Afsluitdijk. Only 6 meters high along the beam, you can have solar panels. That is enough energy as all the cars, which is 18,000 a day, are using. Or if you buy yourself a sports car like a Tesla and you drive 15,000 kilometers, only 30 square meters of solar is enough to charge it, and that costs only 10% of that vehicle. Yes, you can be optimistic. The beauty also of sustainable is that you can do it on small scale. Take Aruba. Aruba recently got a new government 1 year ago. There was a big meeting last year with Al Gore, and Aruba in 1 year produced 20%, increased to 20% of its sustainable energy production. Next year they go to 40%. They take electrical cars. It goes really fast. I urge everybody to take an example of Aruba. And young people, here you see, for the fifth time, I was the coach and advisor of a team of students in the Netherlands who race each 2 years in Australia, from the north to the south, 300 kilometers. And look at what these young people can do just with solar, with cars driving an average of 100 kilometers an hour. Here you see the last control stop where we were, chasing Michigan State University. The Japanese were already ahead. We couldn't catch them up. They were number one. But we wanted to be number two. Here you see us overtaking. By the way, as you know, in Australia, you drive on the left side of the road. So we overtaking, and soon you will see, because we were ping-ponging on the second place the last time that we were overtaking the people. You see the race mentality. These pictures were taken out of what we call mission control, which is a vehicle behind. The red vehicle we see there, blocking us a little bit, was mission control of the Michigan State University. Here you see us overtaking the last time. I don't know whether we crank up the sound a little bit, then for the Dutch you'll see kind of the tension there is. No, they have not plugged in the sound of... Can you plug in the sound of the laptop, please? And yes, we were number two, not number one, but I can tell you that this year we'll do better. We'll become number one again. We also organized in 2006 for the very first time a similar race in the Netherlands over the canals of the Elfstedentocht, 220 kilometers by little boats on Dutch Zand going over the water. And I can tell you it was absolutely charming. We'll have a little video clip here during which I also will talk. The young people, schools very often, they make these little boats. In 2006, the highest speed was 13 kilometers an hour. We had to have special regulations because you're not allowed to go that fast through the canals. In 2008, the max speed was 20 kilometers an hour. And last year, there were ships with heading hydrofoils, and the maximum speed was 28 kilometers an hour on Dutch Zand. And I was standing next to a father and a son of 8 years, and the son said to his father, "When I'm old, I want to have a speedboat like that." Isn't that beautiful? It is so beautiful to be triggered by this whole idea of sustainability and invent all kinds of new things, like this piece of transport, which is the new transport called Superbus, the high-speed bus, which is a combination of a high-speed train and the flexibility of a road car. It is as long as a normal bus, as wide as a normal bus, but much lower and much better aerodynamics. It drives 250 kilometers an hour using the same amount of energy as a normal bus. It was unveiled recently in Hanover, and here you see the vehicle, and everybody goes like, wow, wow. They think it's a very expensive, long limo. Yes, it is expensive. Yes, it is long, but it can be public transport for the price of a normal train ticket. Not because this is cheap, but because the train is so expensive. The vehicle recently was driving its first test ride. This happened about a month ago. I had the honor to drive it. About 180,000 people have looked at YouTube since on this little movie. The vehicle is here at a higher level. It can drive at roundabouts and cities at this level of 40 centimeters high. At high speed, it goes like 5 centimeters high. And the one with the little cap there is my proud people. That's the proud person which I'm driving. It drives like the combination of a jet airplane, a train, and a sports car.
The view of the Earth is a shock because of its inhuman perspective.
I've seen it.
We're all astronauts
Of our spaceship, Earth.
It is our responsibility to maintain spaceship Earth in good quality.
Reflect the future.
There's only one Earth. And there's no spare.
And there's no spare.
Soon we will be selling you tickets to Superbus. And look at this invention. I mean, making energy with kites. This is Jan Akkerman, one of the best guitar players in the world, giving a concert, and the energy of his concert comes from a normal surf kite. What this shows is that sustainable development and replacing the fossil world is much more than a replacement only. It is a jump. It's a jump in culture, in creativity, and it's a jump in joy. in playing together with nature in a win-win situation rather than playing against it. Can you imagine a young girl or a young guy looking at this kite versus looking at a chimney? This will stimulate his thinking or her thinking, not the chimney. We are working now with kites up to 50 square meter, and we're going larger and larger, and it's absolutely fascinating. And I conclude with the last project which I started with my wife, and that is to build a new home which is sustainable, which produces its own energy while sailing with these 2 turbines underwater, producing so much energy that we can live in luxury. And being an icon, you see here the Baptist in Groningen, being an icon for the slogan that sustainable doesn't mean less, it means different. It means a big step. It means a step of creativity. It means a step of better culture. That is what the new generation deserves. This is the generation of Lowlands, which is a big concert in the Netherlands. They are going to have solar panels next year to just produce their own energy. They're going to have the joy, we call it happy energy, where the things which you do are not anymore connected with some kind of black edge. Each kilometer you drive in a car is somehow connected to Nigeria. We don't want that anymore. And there's no need anymore because we have the new technology. We have a logo for that, what we call Happy Energy, a combination of sun, water, and earth. A combination, and we hope that this logo is going to be like the peace logo, a kind of symbol, like a criteria of a new style of life, a new cultural jump, which of course is more expensive because it always is better, and therefore it is more expensive. I hope for you that you enjoy happy energy and that you enjoyed my little talk. Thank you.